Well, in this day and age where we are, we all miss live music. And we're going to try and do this, well, the best we can nowadays, virtually. So I'd like to introduce a very special guest all the way from Ontario, David Leask. And David, let's just say you are promoting probably one of my favorite instruments, and that is the guitar. And not only is this about songwriting and singing, but it's also about music. So David, take it away. Tell us about your latest voyage with Voyageur.
Yes, this is Voyageur. It's the six-string Nation guitar. It was the brainchild of Joey Taylor back in 1995 after the Quebec referendum. And he wanted to put something together that allowed Canadians to have a conversation. So it's made of 64 different pieces of Canadiana, of historical and cultural pieces. And I happened to bump into Joey, and Joey was doing a presentation, and I found it very inspiring. And I wanted to have a crack at writing some songs about the stories behind the pieces, as he told in his presentation. So he generously gave me the guitar for a couple of weeks. That was 4 years ago, and that was the beginning of a long songwriting expedition for me that was an incredible journey in discovering more stories about Canada, and I guess how it made me feel as a Scotsman to discover more about this amazing country that I live in.
Yes, because I know I was loving your brogue, and yes, your homeland of Scotland, but we're so happy that we have you here in Canada. And I wanted to share too with everybody that there is a little bit of a Winnipeg, Manitoba connection too in this Canadiana in Voyageur. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's there's the lucky stone of Gimli that's in there in the inlay and the frets. Probably hard to see. There's a piece from St. Michael's Orthodox Ukrainian Church in around the Sound Hole, and this beautiful piece of wood that's on the side and the back is spelted oak from St. Boniface Museum. So that's probably maybe the most used wood in the guitar, and that's where Louis Riel went to school. And so yeah, it's made up of some incredible pieces, but these are the Manitoba pieces for you right there.
And of course, there's some big Canadian heroes, Wayne Gretzky, I'm told. And one of my favorites, Karen Kane, although she's maybe not on the guitar herself, but...
No, her tutu is in the case. It's, it's quite prominent in the case that I don't have in front of me just now.
For yourself, David, what is it like for you to even play on an instrument that has definitely so much history? Not musical history, maybe per se, but, you know, deep-rooted Canadiana history.
You know, to give you an idea, Tracy, you know, when I got the opportunity to have some time with Voyageur, I brought this guitar home and I didn't open the case for 5 days. I was kind of in awe of it, and so I mean, I think that speaks volumes that I didn't know what was going to happen with it, and I also made a pact with this guitar in my head to say that whatever came out of it would become a song. So I didn't want to just sit and strum cover songs and do this, that, or the next thing. Anything that I played on it, I made sure was a song, and that's exactly what happened. And I look upon this guitar and all the pieces inside it as a group of living stories. And so I really felt like when I was writing that I had some company in the process. So it's a wonderful experience.
Oh, wow. And there is a special song, too, right, that you've composed that with other musicians. So let's talk about that. I mean, it sounds pretty incredible.
Well, you know, I'd written 5 songs about individual pieces, and when it came to the last song, I wasn't quite sure what to do about it. So it became this overarching piece, really about the guitar and my journey with the guitar. And it's a song called Les Chansons du Voyageur. And I also had the idea just like a week or so before we went into the studio to get the musicians who had played, the drummer and the bass player and the lead guitar player, instead of bringing their own instruments, to actually use this as the only instrument. So the drummer, you know, was doing this for a kick drum. He played his brushes all over the guitar, and the bass player played this through an octave pedal and through his bass amplifier, and it turned into a bass, and a lead guitar player put some amazing solo work on it. So on the last track on the record, it was all just Voyageur essentially. So.
You know what? That must have been a magical moment for all of you, right? To be able to
It
play one.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I think the musicians who had played on 5 songs already, for them, it allowed them to bond closer too, because they were really, honored to be on the project. So for them to actually get to play it and add their own creativity I think it was a cool thing for them.
And through all of this, I guess we've all become more creative. But for yourself, David, to continue on, I mean, we can share your story now virtually. We're going to get to hear you play, but I guess it has been a different experience for yourself as a singer-songwriter, as a musician and a performer in all of this.
Yeah, it's been a journey, really just writing all these songs myself, and the sort of journey of discovery, as I say, about the country. But I look upon what's happened as Joey Taylor, who had the idea to put this thing together, creating this amazing instrument, and then inspiring me to write some songs about it. And I kind of look upon it as art inspiring art. And I really hope that when people hear the record and they hear these songs and some stories about Canada, that they feel connected to the guitar and ultimately connected to the country they live in and to themselves. And maybe they'll pick up a guitar, or maybe they'll pick up a paintbrush, do something that's creative. So it's a good time to be doing that, I think, to try and sort of go inside and just express ourselves.
Wow. Well, we're so lucky to have stories like this, and for people like yourselves to continue on. And we just want to say, thank you so much for sharing all of your creativity, and we appreciate it so much. So we hope that you can play us out with a song, David.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that, Tracy. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a song called Against the Grain. It's the first track on the record, and it's a song written about the amazing golden spruce, which is the top of the guitar from Haida Gwaii. Just like an iceberg deep in water, you keep your feet wet. You know that trauma, you hold the memories from sea and soil. You've seen the centuries, the bloom and spoil, with all the lines written on your face. There's no sign of a fall from grace, and fighting darkness against the grain, still letting light come in. Cascading shadows, you and the mountains, rain and sunshine, nature's fountain, like elders singing for generations, a brand new skin in a 6-string nation, with all the lines written on your face. There's no sign of a fall from grace, and fighting darkness against the grain, still letting light come in. With all the lines written on face, there's no sign of a fall from grace, the green, still there